And welcome to week 3. It's 2 special guests today. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Ladies first.
Aw, thanks, Michelle. So nice. Yeah, what's up? Team captain of the Riz All-Stars, Brett Colleton in the house.
Hey everyone, Michelle, team captain of Sacks in the City.
Such a good name. Took me like 3 years to get it.
I know. Very
It's okay. I'm special.
I know. We love you for it.
Thanks.
All right. And you guys are having a good season so far, right?
Yeah, your comments about me being the most fraudulent 2-0 team.
Most
I had to jump on here to defend myself.
Most undeserving 2-0 ever.
I've been driving an ambulance since week 1, man. So the 2-1 record feels pretty good.
I'm just so mad I could not take advantage of week 1. Like that week 1.
After all the
Too bad.
Week 1 was the time to take advantage of you.
Karma's bitch.
Both of you guys.
Well, let's start off too. Before we get into some fantasy football, what are you drinking?
Oh, my wife and I were down in Santa Barbara this past weekend, and we got recommended this brewery called Third Window, little place down near the Funk Zone in Santa Barbara, and I've been drinking their Oktoberfest. It's very delicious. How about you guys? What are y'all drinking?
We
Had to go with a local favorite, Bike Dog.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's some good shit. Cheers to
Cheers.
late night podcasting. Cheers.
All right, if you guys don't mind, I'll dive right in with the marquee matchup of the week. Let me hear what you guys think.
Going right into matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week, we had Natasha and Jono. These are the heavy hitters so far in our league. Natasha took down Jono 189-120. Jono with that big score last week, but Natasha coming through. Her running backs went absolutely crazy. 75 points between Raheem Mostert and Ken Walker. Now, what I want to point out is Devon Achane, as he now wants to be called.
Yes.
Achane is so much more fun.
Dude, it's so much better. Achane.
But it's also not his name, apparently. So.
Put up 53 points in Jono's bench. Even if he had started him, Natasha still would have won.
Wow.
Hell yeah, girl.
Wow.
53 points. And she
She's
still would
putting
have
it
won.
on. Natasha had a little bit of the smack talk.
A little smack talk? Nice.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
I'll slap that in there for you.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Especially after all that praise we gave him last week.
Oh, yeah. We were... I want the draft to be in Boston as much as anybody, but he needed some humble pie for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next up, my matchup, that humble pie that I needed as well. G-Dub. Dude, G-Dub put the hurting on me. 35 points from his defense. I didn't have a single person over 20 points. And Mike Williams put up 27, but...
Yeah, that's
our ACL again.
That is our pour it out for the week, week 3. It's just tired of doing this, but pour it out for Mike Williams.
That dude, man, if he could ever stay healthy.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Joe Burrow? Is he even in Cincinnati?
He doesn't look
play for that team.
Physically doesn't look.
No, he's definitely not healthy.
First half, I think maybe 90% of the snaps were taken from shotgun formation.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah.
There's something weird with that whole team. I mean, even Higgins going out in the third quarter for no reason.
I do think a lot of that is because they didn't practice starters, or they didn't play as many starters during preseason. And I think that really has an effect on your first 3-week performances, but it still looks very sloppy. And
yeah, his calf is it's not to make it all about my team, but similar to Cooper Kupp's hamstring. Like, why play him until he's 100%?
Right.
You're like, I'd rather go 9-7 and sneak into the playoffs with a healthy Joe Burrow than put this on the field every week.
Yeah. I guess I'm encouraged by Joe Mixon at least getting in the end zone, putting up 75, 80 yards. Like, at least he's still a stalwart part of that offense, even though it's nothing insane. It's just he's a part of that offense.
We'll
and get to our Chase did get going, so that should open it up for Mixon to do even more.
that's one of the other things. Like the Dolphins, the 49ers, some of these best offenses in the league, like they're centered around getting the ball easily to your playmakers. And I feel like the Bengals just don't do that. They're trying to put Burrow in positions to win, as opposed to like, let's run a short slant to Jamar Chase. Let's get T. Higgins something behind the line of scrimmage so like they can make all their plays. And it does kind of feel like Michelle said, Jamar started going off. Joe Mixon looks good. Like maybe it speaks back to what Eric was saying.
That defense looks great. Yeah. I think that defense.
And that might have fired him up too.
He whooped you by 50.
Yep, put it on me, baby.
Yeah. Buffalo's D.
35. Nuts.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts and Mike Williams were the big guys.
So, yeah, I feel like I lose to GW every year. I feel like he just has my number.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Anki, 2-1. Corey, down to 0-3. Anki with 159 points. Corey with 123. Keenan Allen, man, putting up a $50. Vintage. Keenan Allen.
I don't even know if this is vintage. This is new. This is new age.
I think it's Herbert stepping up his game. I think Herbert's
good.
Oh man, he's dropping dollars into people. It's incredible.
Yeah. But how many catches alone did Keenan have? 18?
Something like that.
It was a lot of catches. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, but you don't put up 159 points from one guy. Like, Amon-Ra had another good game. Connor looks good in a surprising Cardinals offense.
Against a really good defense.
Yeah, totally. Chubb's backup performed at a Chubb level, which is crazy. So that looks like a pretty baller waiver wire pickup for sure. I still think Corey's team is pretty scary. Yes. Tyreek and Olave had 51 points between them. Yeah. And he had, but beyond that, he had no one else with 15.
At what point in the season do we stop calling him the reigning champ if he's still with us?
Oh, I think like 0-4, 0-5.
Okay.
I think he doesn't have that long left.
One more week.
You got to prove it, baby.
Yeah.
This podcast should be called "What's Wrong with Corey's Team."
I mean, on paper, those receivers are scary, but maybe get a quarterback. I don't know. I don't really trust the Bears.
You're marinating in that mud with me and Matt.
Yeah, dude.
Speaking of which, Matt, dude, you've already ran through all your money and you haven't won a game.
Oh, yep.
Ashton, 3-0. Matt, 0-3. Not a ton of points in this one, 126 to 105. But Tua, ballin'. Amari Cooper looks great. And he's got Jordan Love sitting on his bench. Jordan Love, first 3 weeks, 29, 26, 26.
Yeah. He's a top, 5 quarterback?
Just watching the game like that, they trust him to throw the ball. These are not easy throws that he's making too.
No. I mean, okay, wait. They needed 18 points in the fourth quarter to beat the Saints. Like, yeah. Let's not give him his flowers yet. He put together a nice fourth quarter comeback.
Yes, but for a guy that we never we're like, oh, he's just Aaron Rodgers backup. He's earning it with his arm, not his legs.
So I have some questions for Matt. Christian McCaffrey, great pick, number 1. No notes. Absolutely perfect. We're starting Hunter Henry at our flex spot.
Also, did we see how many points he had on the bench?
Oh, Adam Thielen had 31. If he plays, he wins.
I mean, 3 guys on the bench for 75 points, Matt.
And you drafted Thielen up so high. So high.
I thought that was your secret weapon.
Oh, and on top of that, to Michelle's point, $90 for Josh Palmer, thinking he's the answer.
How much money you got?
$10. Yeah, it's
with this inflated free agent budget.
Are you going to use it all on a kicker?
Going into the playoffs?
Actually, I think you might need a kicker.
That will.
That jokingly, but I think you have Daniel Carlson, who.
Next on the docket, Michelle. Another impressive victory. Takes Yuli down to 1-2, 161 to 134. Just a nice little round of applause. Well done. That's a solid win. Justin Herbert, as we said, looks great.
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson looks great.
Justin Jefferson, going to be a first rounder for the next decade.
When you look at that, when you look at your lineup, it was quarterback dual. They went head for head. Kirk Cousins and Herbert.
It was a great game to watch.
Slugged it out.
White Dak Prescott looks real good.
Yeah. When wide receiver ones, both of them slugged it out. Justin Jefferson, and he had who was his
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, yeah. JJ and Jamar Chase slugged it out. The only real difference that you had is you had a tight end that performed. Laporta is
Laporta potty.
Laporta potty was my last pick. I'm not mad.
So good.
Yeah.
You may have nailed that. And it makes total sense. And I'm not sure why people weren't more on top of it. The Hawkinson did well on the Lions, and then he needed a contract. They didn't want to pay him. They shipped him off. He looks great in Minnesota, but they replaced him with another receiving tight end, put him in the same role. Laporta looks great.
Yeah,
easy money for Michelle and Les.
He looks real seasoned.
That's another fun team.
And then Philly's D.
All right, Eric.
Moving on to me and my my loss to my father-in-law.
This is the last one.
Putting in the
entire San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, like already that Thursday night game, I was down 75 points from McCaffrey, D. Even Kittle had a day. Purdy.
Devo stuffed up.
Somehow he thought that Skylar had swapped or benched Purdy, but I put him back in his starting lineup.
Still blame Skylar for that.
Yeah.
I have Purdy, Debo, and Kittle with 45 combined, and that doesn't include the 11 points that the defense scored as well. So that's 56 from the Niners on its own.
Yeah.
Which, dude, that's 56 points of the 171 that he scored.
But honestly, with the rest of his lineup, I was like thinking, okay, if Devontae Adams can have a mild day.
Holy shit! Where did he come from?
If Devontae Adams can just maybe not be the only person that Jimmy looks at.
And Zach Moss? What?
Yeah. Zach
wow.
Moss.
Dude, Zach Moss, what a pick.
Such a solid pick. No one else is looking at him, and he's reaping the benefits of that.
Just like in the NFL, man, this was a week of blowouts. There were not a ton of close games in our league. People were just getting blown out left and right. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to run through some waivers. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on these guys.
Yeah.
So, seeing as we're a little late and everybody's already done it, I just want to do kind of a review and get your guys' reactions to the waivers that were placed. I still have as the top waiver wire ad, I've got Devon A-Chain, but he was on Jono's bench.
Already on Jono's bench.
Here's my statistic.
Before you get into that, this is the difference between our league and others. I'm undefeated in other leagues, right? In our league, none of these players that are coming up or like huge waiver wire ads, they're already rostered in our league.
1,000%.
So everybody for doing that.
Every single time I look, Corey's got a guy I want. Jono's got a guy I want.
Yeah.
Ashton's got a guy I want. Anki's got a guy I want. Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. No, this is a very competitive league, to say the least.
So here's my Devon A-Chain stat. He had 9 yards going into week 3. He is now the RB5 in the NFL.
Yeah.
Wild.
That's insane.
Right.
I bet he comes down to earth a little bit, but I've got him in my dynasty league, so I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Absolutely comes down to earth.
I mean, he has to.
Well, on top of that, Salvon Ahmed is coming back, and he's technically their number 2.
Oh, Jeff Wilson's on IR, so he'll be back in.
Yeah. So it's you just want a piece. Essentially, you just want a piece of the Miami Dolphins.
Oh yeah, best offense in the league. Absolutely.
I was talking with Anki and Ashton today about it. Like, why? Like, Anki was kind of sketched out about why I had Jeff Wilson on my IR spot. Like, there's so many other right now. There's so many better IR spots to be had. But I go at this point, I just want a piece of the Finns offense. Just give me a couple games of healthy Finns performance.
Well, it's fair, right? You look at the top 3 in the league. What do they all have in common? They all have a Dolphin.
That other stat on their broadcast that was crazy to me was the top end speeds of the NFL right now, and it was all 4 of their dudes. It was Tyreek, Mostert, Tyreek, and A-Chain.
I feel like.
How do you pronounce his name again?
A-Chan.
A-Chan. We're calling him A-Chain.
Yes.
Like Jackie Chan.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about Matt. Josh Palmer, $90. Herbert looks great.
$90. I want to
Herbert looks great.
know. I want to know what he thought. The next. What is
like?
the next,
okay, what was going through Matt's head?
What
Where
is-
he's like, I need to drop $90 on this guy because he's going to be worth it.
On top,
So
is it opportunity? Is it an opportunity thing? Like going.
Are you
well,
desperate? Like, are you
It's
that
like,
desperate?
he's not that productive.
No, but it's
The
an
thing that-
it has to be-
$90
You're
productive.
betting on opportunity.
And
when
Mike Williams is a physical specimen. He looks like a linebacker out there.
Yeah.
Josh Palmer does not.
the exact opposite, and then on top of that, these are games without Austin Eckler.
Right.
Austin
Ooh,
Eckler
that's
is
a good
throwing
point.
up 4 to 7 more catches that Palmer has to compete for. And
Yeah, that's crazy.
I guess you could also bet that maybe Keenan is older, but still, I
Gonna
just
come down to
think-
earth.
Yeah,
I don't know. With Herbert putting it on people the way he is and the way Keenan Allen runs routes, like that's a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the next guy, which is $36 Ashton paid for the rookie out of TCU, Quentin Johnston,
yes.
who I liked in college a lot. I thought
So-
that he's a big dude, good yards after the catch.
I give it to Ashton for dishing out that money for him because in preseason you saw glimpses of this is I don't want to say a Mike Williams replacement, but it's a similar body type, it's a similar catch style, play style. Even though they just paid the dude, they're thinking about his injury history and that this is a guy that you can slot in that.
I think it's just hard to pay really anything over $20 if you don't have a guarantee, which both those guys are not guaranteed, right?
No.
I'm with you, and the way that I'm thinking about it is like the economics of the fab budget has been totally changed by having $200.
200.
Right. Everybody is
200 is a change.
The way that I'm thinking about this is $13 for Quentin Johnson isn't that crazy because it's what's that $18 in the old league,
Yeah.
right? If you have $100, 36 divided by 2 is 18.
Yeah.
It's like $18 for that is like I probably wouldn't have paid it last year, but at the same time, like if you're doing
not
economics
in
that
week
way.
3. I would not have.
Well, and then you look at Matt again, and he paid $45 for Josh Palmer, and it's like probably not my guy.
So I dished out $18 for Parno.
Wait a minute. Who told you to do that?
Let's get this right. This is why I've been calling you Fantasy Witch. I know you don't like it,
I just.
but you do that little like zippity zappity zoo
Abracadabra.
like this.
All
And,
right.
like so. And you know what's funny is Anki and Ashton are now calling you the Bill Belichick Patriots of fantasy because you somehow find your way into.
I feel like I'm a lot happier than you.
You find yourself into the
He's
conference
angry.
championship every year, regardless of the roster you
Okay,
have.
but I don't cheat. I do not cheat.
That's
Not anymore.
yeah. Justin Herbert trusts him in the red zone.
Also, who is your tight end?
Dalton Kincaid.
I like Dalton Kincaid, but
I love
rookie
Dalton.
tight ends.
I think it's still.
And you also have Knox in there trying to do stuff.
But they drafted the dude because Knox isn't doing it.
I know, but he's not. I don't think it's this year.
Okay, I can see that.
Rookies tend to take a couple weeks to pop.
Yes.
And so if you have Kincaid on your roster, Parham holds you over for 3 or 4 weeks, and then he starts to become more into the pace of the NFL, like having both could not hurt. Next up in value was Yuli paid 27 for a dude I swear to God I've never heard of.
All right.
Who is Josh Downs?
Oh,
Did he think this was Josh Palmer?
No.
No. Even though, no. I don't. I'm pretty sure he did.
Who does he play for? Who is he?
Colts. Okay.
I don't know.
Can you name that? That's why. Can you name who is other than Pittman? Who is the Colts wide receiver core?
What is it? Pierce? Alec Pierce?
Oh yeah, there you go. There's one.
But has he caught a pass this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe one.
Maybe one. And he's white.
That's true.
So, like, the next black player on that roster that can catch the football.
Okay, well,
is-
this got weird. Who's next
so
on your list,
racist.
Brett?
All right, next on the list was CJ Stroud. I paid $26 for him because he looked great.
Yes.
And where the fuck is Joe Burrow? That's rough. Yes,
So,
looks great.
yeah.
Hoping
So,
he
yes.
keeps making scoring
Props
points.
to you. Props to you for dishing that out. Like,
Let's go.
yeah. Oh yeah. CJ Stroud would be a good one.
I,
Fun.
I like Jono's pickup of Rashee Rice, emerging in the Chiefs offense a little bit. Only $10
part of the Chiefs offense
on the market.
Part of it.
Yep. So I thought that was probably not next week, probably not the week after. Maybe a stash, maybe a good flex play once bye weeks start popping up.
Because Kadarius Toney continues to be a part of this offense and looks like garbage. Like I don't get it.
I don't think it's gonna work out for him.
I mean, it was the same reason that I drafted Justin Ross at the very end of our draft.
Yeah.
As well. Look, I just wanted a piece of the offense. That was it.
That's why my last pick was MVS, and I wanted a piece of the offense too, and realizing that's the wrong piece.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody had Rashee Rice on their draft list. So, but looking pretty good.
Speaking of last piece of the offense, we're going to
there. It is. That's my next one.
DH.
So I dropped him.
Did you already?
You paid and dropped him?
I didn't pay that much.
That's still funny.
The only other two that people paid money for were, since his D was still out there, Anki went and snatched that up. That's a great pick.
Yes, great pick. If you need it, I feel like all of us are very comfortable with our defensive choice.
Yep. Oh yeah, I feel great. I got the Chiefs last week.
Yeah.
They're good for another 5 or 6 weeks. Last one was John picked up another third quarterback. He's got Geno Smith on the roster now.
And a sea chicken? Come on, dude.
2 of the 3 quarterbacks he drafted got hurt. But Jimmy's what in concussion?
Jimmy's
just a matter.
You saw how Jimmy got bent backwards. I learned that in these fantasy matchups with my father-in-law, your dad.
Yeah.
It's just this dude has years of experience, and can't question experience.
I agree. 3 quarterbacks is putting up 171 points. He's got something figured out. So
yeah.
I
hope that I beat on Skylar's future husband.
Okay.
That'd be
let's just get you out of last place for now.
Yes.
Step 1.
Yes.
Yeah, beat anybody, Eric.
Trying. I'm coming for Matt's ass.
League rankings as it stands: 2 3-0s, Natasha and Ashton. Getting kind of crowded at the middle. We got 2 1s. Michelle, Jono, GW, Anki, and myself. John and Yuli kind of bringing up the rear here at 1 and 2, and our yet to wins, Eric Sum and Matt.
I think Corey.
Corey too.
Corey's down there. Corey's is just.
Corey's at 1 and 2. Corey's at 1 and 2.
And Matt, get that straight.
No, Eric, you are not on the bottom.
No, I'm not.
I'd like to say, we talked last week. Yuli and Eric were talking about power rankings. I didn't do an official one, but as I was telling you guys before we started recording, I'm nervous about Corey's team. He's putting up numbers by the point totals right now. If he wasn't getting absolutely awful matchups, he has the 6th most points scored in the league. And his team is got Tyreek and Olave and could be dangerous coming forward. I think we all have some catching up to do with the 4 teams that are at the top are the 4 best teams: Natasha, Ashton, Michelle, and Jono. Yeah. But when Mostert's putting up 4 touchdowns,
see that type of stuff is not sustainable. I don't know what Natasha your mindset is in regards to those performances, but are you thinking about shopping him? Because
Eric wants to buy.
Well, I don't want to buy, but
also,
there's no way that
I don't know if Natasha has done a trade.
Ever?
Right. I don't think she. I don't.
You should probably hit up Matt about giving away Mostert to him, because he'd probably sell anything for that. You know that Mostert is not going to last.
I like us trying to facilitate trades on the podcast.
I think.
Jono, call me about Bijan.
Also, Matt, I do not want Hunter Henry, but thank you.
Here's my game. It's called Do They Suck? First one, Jordan Love. Win over the Saints. Big 4th quarter comeback. Still, he only completed 50% of his throws, 259 yards, a touchdown, an interception for a 66 QBR. Does he suck?
Well, also, I know for me, I was watching my boy Reed drop 2, 3 maybe passes in the end zone, and that's not on Love.
So it's a receiver's issue as well. Christian Watson's not playing.
Yes, Christian Watson's not playing.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones isn't playing.
Yeah, he's missing some key players.
Yeah, because Dylan is not holding it down from the running back position. So
no, God,
why can't he? Let's put it this way: Jordan Love is a lot better than I thought he would be.
Than most of us thought.
He would be.
So the question is, does Jordan Love suck?
No.
All right, I'm going to give you a layup. Zach Wilson, does he suck?
Yeah.
Lost to Mac and the Patriots.
Why is this a question?
18 because we need to talk about.
He's worse than the entire Bears team.
We need to talk about the Jets.
Apparently, Trevor Siemian is less sucky.
I have a second question after this. So lost to Mac and the Pats, and I don't think Mac's very good. 18 for 36 for 157 yards. That's trash. But the question is, who would be better of the quarterbacks that are available? Who would you guys rather have? In the world, I thought of Carson Wentz, not doing anything. Colt McCoy, not doing anything. Kirk Cousins is on the last year of his deal, and nobody in Minnesota wants to go.
There's a lot of rumors, but those have kind of calmed down.
Okay. Would you trade Zach Wilson for Justin Fields?
No. Is that?
Who says no?
Is Justin Fields part of your do they suck?
No.
Because he is part of mine, and it's an absolutely yes. He sucks.
Yeah, he's not good at playing quarterback.
I mean, that whole
he should do it.
Though is like it's not even just the team. It's like how does the stadium get broken into? What? Like,
have you seen a beautiful pass yet from Justin Fields? Like, I don't think I've seen a single one that goes, oh damn, that was a good ball. Jordan Love has good balls. Like, I'm
does
like,
he have good balls?
He has
really good balls. Great balls. Just see him hang there. Stop it! Don't, God damn it.
I'm gonna drink.
Sorry, Yuli.
Oh, I've never seen a team that needs to just blow it up harder than that.
It's hard to watch.
I think it breaks my heart too about like Mooney, because like Mooney had some potential. He's holding onto the ball too long.
The line is not the best. The coach isn't the best.
All right, my last one. Josh Dobbs. Does he suck?
No. Josh Dobbs is a bigger Kyler Murray.
Whoa.
I mean, that's not that hard.
And I'm not going to say the same arm.
Bad at quarterback, just kind of fast. And it's wild that he showed up like 9 days, 10 days, something like that before their first game. And he's beating the Cowboys. God, I wish Wujin was still in the league. I wish Wujin was still in the league so bad to just clown him.
I mean, I personally really enjoyed that game, but also, what the fuck?
It honestly crossed my mind in the pick'ems. I go, this could be fun pressing this, but I was like, no way. There's no way this happens.
And that's all for Do They Suck? The only other thing that I'd like to do is congratulate Matt on having the Browns defense, because they look scary.
Yes. They look really good.
Yeah. When you have Myles Garrett attracting, did you guys see the clip where he had 2 tight ends motioning with him,
motioning over, and they followed him,
and then they had to call a timeout because they couldn't like get set. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, and
I've never seen that before.
If that offense figures it out a little bit more each week, I think they're going to be.
I think they are. I feel like if you watch the Browns, you kind of see a little bit of progress. I read an interesting stat that the Rams are the worst team after winning a Super Bowl, like record-wise. So after winning a Super Bowl, they are the worst team.
Who's playing hooky? I think playing hooky is like the guy that you expect to do a lot, but literally doesn't show up.
Fucking Joe Burrow.
No, what's his name on the Chargers running back? Kelly.
Joshua Kelly.
Dude.
Yes.
Where are you, bro?
I'm gonna go. Okay, you go. Then you throw Joshua Kelly, AJ Dillon.
Yeah, there's a lot of running games that are not. They
have opportunities to just go off, fall into the end zone, and they're not even.
I don't get it.
They don't even show up to the game.
Right.
I've got another one in that same vein. Josh Jacobs was unstoppable last year.
Yeah.
Has just like not shown up at all. I know the Raiders aren't very good, but man.
I mean, I have him in my other league, and my God.
You mean Ramondre?
Damn.
a Bill Belichick team should be able to run the ball better.
You
Right.
can't.
They
Yeah.
should be able to.
And
like-
for fantasy purposes, you can't trust a New England Patriot from a week-to-week fantasy standpoint.
But you should be able to trust him. He's the best player they have.
It's been a long time since they've had like a viable fantasy point scorer. It's been like
Yes.
maybe James White. I remember a couple years I had James White, and he would ball
James
out
White.
from time to time.
Yeah, because he would be part of their game plan.
Yeah.
And he would make the most of those opportunities.
A lot of in a PPR league, it was a lot of like short catches. So we'd have like 8 catches for 50 yards, which is 13 points, and like that's great from a flex.
Right. A flex. Starting running back.
But yeah,
Do
maybe
we-
Gronk.
Yeah.
Like, is Gronk the last good one?
But Darren Waller is a stalwart of your roster. Like,
But is that Waller or is that the Giants?
I think it's the Giants, and I also think that Waller's best years are behind him. And
There's so much talk about him.
it's just there was a lot of talk about him coming in, and he scored 5 points this week.
Dude, the tight ends have been brutal this
Rough.
year.
Super rough. Like even
That's every year,
Hawkins,
though. That's
Hawkinson
literally
salvaged his day at the end.
Yeah, it wasn't a great Hawkinson day for Minnesota putting up that many points. Also, that game was wild. It was like, who wants to not win the most?
Only 10 tight ends had over 10 points last week. Musgrave, Higbee, Freiermuth, Ingram, Hawkinson, Parham, Kittle, Pharaoh Brown.
like who and what did
Travis- Travis
Pharaoh
Kelce
Brown.
and Sam Laporta. How did Pharaoh Brown do this? 2 catches for 71 yards, a touchdown, which was over 40. Yeah, he had 2 catches, and one of them went for more than 40 yards and a touchdown. And that's how he
You know
did it.
why? Because Minnesota's defense is non-existent.
Love.
Yeah, I mean, like, their secondary is, I don't even know. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, do I start a Panther just because they're not playing against a defense?
I would just like to call out the fact that Jimmy Graham had more fantasy points than Mark Andrews this
Tutty.
week.
He got a
Oh
tutty.
my God.
Jimmy Graham got a tutty.
That's rough.
Wild. What are we looking forward to in week 4?
Who do you think is going to be that match of the week? Well, we got the toilet bowl this week.
Are you playing Matt?
Yep.
Oh.
No, we got Jono and
I mean, Ashton, that should be the match.
That's huge.
I think that's a big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I think the marquee matchup is the toilet bowl. Let's see who can get out of last
See how many
place.
points your $90 investment will get you, dog.
Yeah.
I think-
Yeah,
Even though
you
right
are-
now we're slotted to score more points than me, but
dude, by 17.
yeah.
I know projections don't mean anything, but
Yeah.
Which is ironic because we had 2 people this week who hit their projections to a T.
Whoa. that's crazy.
Right? Yuli and Ashton.
Wow.
Oh, no, really?
I had no idea. I am playing Corey.
Oh,
And I
Corey
am-
might get his first win.
Might get his first win because he is projected to beat me by 8 points. So that makes me feel real good about my 2-1 team.
I'm not going to say
Cooper
anything.
Cooper Cup, please come back healthy.
Perfect time to talk about some of the biggest news in the NFL this week. And I'm talking Super Bowl halftime performer Usher.
Okay, so
No. Before you say anything, fun fact, Usher is my very first concert ever, and I can speak from
Dope.
experience. He puts on a fucking show. The
So-
ladies will be excited.
I love that he dances
This is very well.
because you can do a whole dance thing. It's gonna be great. Rihanna can do a whole show on her own. Shakira and J-Lo needed each other. Do you feel like Usher is at the point where he can do a whole show on his own, or does he need guests?
I mean, he's been doing a whole show on his
He can
own.
do a
He's
whole
been
show
in
on his
Vegas for what, a year or 2? Or
Super
I
Bowl's
think
a
he's
little bit.
touring right now.
Super Bowl's a little bit different though, because
It is.
like
I
if you
wouldn't-
go to see Usher, you're paying to see Usher,
Mhm.
so you want to hear all of his like I want to see Usher, and I only want to see Usher, and I only want to hear Usher's songs.
And now
That's not the way the Super Bowl is. If people don't know
Super
who
Bowls
Usher
are,
is,
hey, there's so many different interests now that like, hey, if somebody doesn't know really Usher, they might know one or two of the people that decide to come on stage with him. We're just in that stage of.
I mean, shit, like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg needed Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, and 50 Cent. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
But that's the thing is like he's got a lot of people he can bring on. He could bring on Pitbull. He could bring on
Ludacris.
I was just thinking about this. Ludacris and Lil Jon. Like,
yeah.
I would be shocked if didn't have all three of them out there.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
And then I mean, if Taylor and Kelsey don't break up, is she gonna make an appearance?
I mean, she might be at the Super Bowl if he's there too. If they were to break up, what would the song be called?
I don't know.
Incomplete?
How long did you take to think about that?
Down in Distance?
Oh, there's more.
You're losing it.
Oh, come on. I thought Incomplete was so good.
Incomplete was good. And you should have stopped there.
Down in Distance, you took it too far.
Yeah. No, and I did not come up with that. Every single podcast I listen to in the world is talking about Taylor Swift.
Everything, the internet is broken.
So that's it's almost too much.
It's too much. Like I don't even really want to talk about it.
Heinz is coming out with a new condiment based off like the ranch dressing and ketchup mixture that she made for her chicken tenders.
Yes.
My God.
Man,
it's bad.
Crazy. Like these fools are already making a lot of money, and they're just
tons.
I mean, they're trying to get together.
She's 100% promoting her movie that comes out in 2 weeks and her album that comes out in 4 weeks. Like this is absolutely a publicity stunt.
Oh yeah,
I'm here for it. I think it's great.
I mean,
Live it up, dude.
Yeah.
Right.